What if I told you that some of the daily habits you engage in are quietly eroding your strength, stalling your progress, and keeping you trapped in a cycle of weakness without you even realizing it? In this video, we'll uncover 10 seemingly harmless habits that are slowly draining your energy from within. If you're looking to lead a life with greater power and self-control, it's crucial to identify and eliminate these behaviors immediately. Stick around until the end to find out what they are and how Stoicism can empower you to break free from them. Before we dive in, I'd appreciate it if you could like and share this video so it can reach a wider audience. And if you want to stay updated on my future content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Inability to face negative emotions. One of the most corrosive habits for our emotional strength is the inability to face and process our negative emotions. In our culture, we are often taught to avoid pain, distract ourselves from sadness, or hide frustration behind a facade of false positivity. However, what we fail to understand is that these emotions, if not addressed, do not disappear. They linger, accumulating like constant pressure until they eventually overwhelm us and cause us to collapse. The problem lies in the fact that we avoid what we deem uncomfortable, seeking refuge in temporary distractions or ignoring discomfort, mistakenly believing it will fade over time. However, negative emotions are signals, indicators that something within us needs to be addressed. Avoiding them is like ignoring an open wound. At first, it may seem easier not to confront them, but over time, the emotional infection grows and profoundly impacts our mental strength. Stoicism teaches us to accept our emotions, even the darkest ones, as an essential part of the process of self-awareness and growth. Facing pain, sadness, and frustration is not a sign of weakness, but of true strength. It is in this confrontation that we find clarity, understanding, and ultimately, liberation. Avoiding our negative emotions deprives us of the opportunity to grow and learn from them. True strength does not lie in avoiding pain, but in facing it with courage. Recognizing and processing our emotions makes us more resilient, better equipped to face life's adversities without falling victim to our emotional fragility. Stoicism teaches us to embrace and confront our emotions with bravery. Instead of fearing them, we should welcome them as opportunities for growth and strengthening our resilience. When you recognize and process your emotions, you become stronger and less dependent on external factors. Don't fall into the habit of hiding what you feel. Instead, use your emotions as a tool for improvement. Speaking negatively about yourself. The language we use to speak to others is important, but the way we refer to ourselves is crucial. Every self-critical or negative thought is like a brick building a wall between who you are and who you could become. Phrases like, "I'm not good enough," "I always fail," or "I'll never be able to do this," infiltrate your mind, eroding your self-esteem and defining your reality. What you say to yourself defines you. The problem with this destructive internal dialogue is that it goes beyond words. It affects how you feel and act. The more you repeat these phrases, the more real they become. Every time you insult or belittle yourself, you sabotage your ability to overcome challenges and grow. This habit becomes a vicious cycle. Your thoughts create negative emotions, which reinforce self-limiting behaviors, perpetuating the belief that you are not enough. Stoicism teaches us to use reason to counter these internal voices. Stoics believe that it is not external events that disturb us, but the way we interpret them. The same applies to internal language. It is not who you are that limits you, but what you believe and say about yourself. Change this narrative. If you speak to yourself with respect, understanding, and patience, you will begin to build a new sense of strength. Transforming your internal dialogue not only frees you from the barriers you have built, but opens you up to a potential you never believed possible. By changing your words, you change your world. Avoiding challenges. Avoiding challenges is one of the most common and dangerous habits we cultivate without realizing it. Comfort constantly beckons us. Staying in the comfort zone seems safer, easier, more natural. But comfort is the enemy of progress. Every time you avoid a challenge, whether at work, in a relationship, or in your personal development, you are choosing stagnation over growth. You are avoiding the opportunity to become a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. When you avoid challenges, you deprive yourself of the lessons that only difficulty can teach. Stoicism reminds us that true growth does not happen in moments of calm, but in adversity. Challenges, no matter how uncomfortable, are trials that strengthen your character, mind, and spirit. By facing them, you learn not only to overcome obstacles, but to know yourself better, to understand what you are made of and what you are capable of. The Stoic Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, just as labor strengthens the body." Avoiding what is difficult weakens you because you lose the opportunity to develop the resilience necessary to face life's inevitable challenges. By fleeing from what frightens or discomforts you, you are building a life of fragility and fear. Every challenge is a disguised opportunity, a doorway to growth. Facing them with courage prepares you not only for present obstacles, but also for whatever situation life presents you in the future. Strength is forged in the fire of challenges. Indulging in excessive materialism. In today's society, we are conditioned to believe that happiness depends on what we possess: more money, a bigger house, the latest phone, or a luxury car. This excessive materialism leads us to constantly seek satisfaction in external things, believing that this is the only way to achieve fulfillment. But the truth is, the more you cling to material things, the emptier your inner life becomes. The problem with this habit is that the things you own will never permanently fill that void. Relying on external things for your well-being makes you vulnerable to anxiety, fear, and insecurity. There is always something else to desire, something else to buy, leaving you in an endless race towards a satisfaction that never arrives. Furthermore, material things are outside your control. They can be taken away at any moment, and when your happiness depends on them, you become emotionally fragile. Stoicism teaches us that true strength and freedom do not come from what we own, but from our ability to control our thoughts and emotions. Stoics remind us that things are indifferent. They can be useful, but they are not essential to our happiness. What truly matters is our virtue and our ability to live according to our values. When you understand that nothing external can define your worth or well-being, you free yourself from the prison of materialism. By learning to appreciate what you have without relying on it, you find a peace and inner strength that no amount of possessions can give you. True wealth lies in controlling your mind, not in what you accumulate. Seeking external validation, one of the most corrosive and debilitating habits, is the constant need for external validation. Living to please others, seeking their approval, robs you of something precious: your authenticity. When you define yourself based on others' opinions, you become a puppet of their expectations, losing control of your life and weakening your sense of identity. The problem with this behavior is that no matter how hard you try to please everyone, there will always be someone who does not approve of what you do. This endless cycle of seeking approval leaves you dissatisfied and exhausted because you are chasing something unattainable: universal approval. But what happens when your self-worth depends on what others think? You surrender your power and drift away from your true purpose, setting aside your values and principles. Stoicism teaches us to focus our energy on what we can truly control: our mind, our actions, and our reactions. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Stop living to please others and start living according to your values. By doing so, you free yourself from the suffocating weight of external validation and take back control of your life. The path to true inner strength lies in no longer seeking approval from others and beginning to validate yourself. When your worth comes from your integrity and not from others' opinions, you become invulnerable to others' judgments. This is true freedom. Chronic procrastination. Chronic procrastination is a habit that may seem harmless at first glance, but over time it becomes a trap that sabotages your ability to achieve your goals. Every time you decide to postpone an important task, you rob yourself of the opportunity to make progress. Delaying the necessary actions for growth means choosing immediate pleasure at the expense of long-term success. And even if it feels easier at the moment to put off what makes you uncomfortable, that relief is temporary. Eventually, the accumulation of postponed tasks becomes a much heavier burden. Procrastination not only delays reaching your goals, but also weakens your self-discipline. By getting used to avoiding what you should do, you create a habit of escaping responsibilities, remaining trapped in a cycle of mediocrity, where difficult things always seem more unattainable, and even simpler tasks become insurmountable mountains. Stoicism teaches us to consider time as one of the most precious resources we have. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that Losing time is the greatest loss because it is irretrievable. Postponing our actions weakens our capacity for progress and succumbs to the fear of effort. Stoics advocated for the importance of immediate action, of doing what needs to be done without waiting for the perfect moment, as that moment often never arrives. Breaking the cycle of procrastination means choosing growth over comfort. Every small step you take today without hesitation brings you closer to your goals. The key is to start now. Surrounding yourself with toxic people, the people you share your life with have a huge impact on your emotional well-being and mindset. If you surround yourself with toxic people, those who constantly discourage you, criticize you, or belittle your efforts, you will slowly absorb that negativity. This type of relationship emotionally drains you, undermines your self-esteem, and keeps you stuck in a state of weakness and self-limitation. Toxic people are not always openly hostile. Sometimes they are subtle, cloaking their criticism and pessimism as advice or realism. But what they are doing is sowing doubt in your mind, making you believe you are incapable, that your dreams are unattainable, or that you do not deserve success. This environment becomes an emotional prison, one that limits your potential and perpetuates mediocrity. You absorb what surrounds you, and if what surrounds you is negative, you will also be enveloped by that dark cloud. Stoicism teaches us to be extremely mindful of our social environment. Epictetus stated that we are a reflection of the people we spend the most time with. If you want to be strong, wise, and resilient, it is vital to surround yourself with people who share these values, people who inspire you to improve and push you forward. Emotional strength is built through healthy relationships based on mutual support, respect, and authenticity. Remember, your environment can be your greatest strength or your worst weakness. Steer clear of those who drag you into negativity and seek the company of those who uplift you. You are the one who chooses who surrounds you, and this choice defines your path. Avoiding responsibility. Avoiding taking responsibility for your actions is a habit that slowly undermines your personal power. When you blame others, circumstances, or bad luck for your problems, you deprive yourself of the ability to change your life. By refusing to accept responsibility, you relinquish the only thing you can truly control, your decisions. This habit not only weakens you emotionally, but keeps you in a victim position, unable to take control of your destiny. Living in constant avoidance of responsibility is like walking through life without a clear direction. Every time you attribute your mistakes or failures to external factors, you are telling yourself that you have no power over your situation, thus fueling despair and stagnation. It is a destructive cycle that keeps you trapped in inaction and mediocrity, with no possibility for growth or improvement. Stoicism teaches us that while we may not always control what happens to us, we can control how we react to it. Taking responsibility for our decisions and actions gives us the power to change our reality. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts, and those thoughts are shaped by your ability to take control of what is in your hands." Letting go of this behavior liberates you. By taking full responsibility for your life, you realize that the power to change, improve, and progress has always been in your hands. You reclaim your inner strength when you stop blaming others and start taking control of your destiny. You are the architect of your life. 9. Lack of discipline. The lack of discipline is one of the most debilitating habits you can develop. Without discipline, your life becomes a series of impulsive decisions, lacking direction and purpose. It's easy to give in to the temptation of immediacy, distractions, unnecessary entertainment, or short-term comfort. But without a clear structure and the ability to adhere to it, your goals fade away and progress halts. Discipline is what allows you to push forward even when you don't feel like it. It is the strength that keeps you on track when circumstances get tough. Stoicism is a philosophy based on personal discipline. The Stoics believed that to live a virtuous and fulfilling life, we must act in harmony with our principles, not with our momentary emotions or fleeting desires. Epictetus said, "No man is free if he is not master of himself, and self-discipline is the tool that allows you to become that master." Developing discipline enables you to resist the temptations that pull you away from your purpose, helps you say no when necessary, and perseveres when the path gets difficult. Being disciplined means acting consistently, regardless of what is happening around you. When you adopt discipline, You become unstoppable because you have trained your mind to focus on what truly matters. Eliminate the lack of discipline from your life, and you will see how your actions begin to align with your dreams. Strength does not come from motivation, but from the habit of doing what you need to do, regardless of the circumstances. Discipline is the true path to freedom and success. 10. Focusing on what you cannot control. One of the most debilitating habits you can develop is wasting time and worrying about things that are completely out of your control. This attitude plunges you into a sea of anxiety as you fret over what others think, external circumstances, or an uncertain future. This worry is not only unproductive, but it also weakens you emotionally, distracting you from what you can actually change in your life. Stoicism offers us a clear and liberating perspective. We must focus on what is under our control, our actions, our thoughts, and our reactions. This is crucial for our mental peace and well-being. When we accept that we cannot control others' opinions or the outcomes of certain events, we begin to release an immense amount of energy and inner power. This shift in mindset allows you to direct your attention to what truly matters, your response to circumstances. When you stop worrying about what you cannot change, you regain your autonomy and feel empowered. Freedom and strength reside in the ability to act according to your values and principles, regardless of external influences. As Epictetus said, it is not events that disturb us, but how we interpret them. The true path to freedom and strength lies in letting go of these worries. Focus on what you can control, and you will see how your life transforms. By taking control of your mind and actions, you become the architect of your happiness and success. This change in perspective not only strengthens you, but also frees you from the chains of anxiety. Now that you know the 10 behaviors that weaken you, it's time to take action. Start eliminating them from your life today, and you will see how your inner strength multiplies. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and family so they can improve their lives as well. See you in the next video, where we will continue to explore Stoic wisdom for a better life.